Blog Talk Radio.
Your experience begin right now. From high atop the mountains of British Columbia to you listening around the world, this is Spaced Out Radio. You can follow us on our website, spacedoutradio.com, on Twitter, @SpacedOutRadio. Give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. You can follow us on Instagram, Dave Scott, SOR, or on our YouTube channel, Spaced Out Radio Show. Buckle up, space travelers. It's time to go for a ride as we are live on Spaced Out Radio. Radio. Tonight I am your host, Dave Scott, and thank you so much for tuning in at spacedoutradio.com as we come in from the frozen Canadian tundra, battle our way past the wild animals, sidestep Bigfoot, and enter Uncle Jimbo's cabin, stoke the fire, heat this place up, and broadcast you live on this Thursday night, early Friday morning if you're on the East Coast. Here at SOR, we do this thing 7 days a week. We want to be your official one-stop shop when it comes to the supernatural, paranormal, ufological, extraterrestrial, and so much more. Hope you like the new theme song. That is by guitar god Ron Bumblefoot THAL. You can catch his album, Little Brother Is Watching, by going to spacedoutradio.com. Hey, if you're a social media junkie like I am, you can follow us on Twitter, @SpacedOutRadio. You can give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show, and you can ask to join our private Spaced Out Radio group as well as Podcast Central. On Instagram, you can follow me at Dave Scott, SOR, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Spaced Out Radio Show, and, of course, our website, new look as of this week, is spacedoutradio.com. At this time, we'd love to send a shout-out to our fans in the Spaced Out Radio chat room, along with Paranormal Into the Night and Paranormal Forum. Hey, if you head to our website, you can check out Cat's Corner. Psychic Catherine Fallman will answer one lucky listener's submitted question per week. Tonight's show is brought to you by Rivulet Reiki and Readings, providing healings in person or at a distance. Spaced Out Radio listeners receive a 10% discount on pricing. PurplePlates.com. Help heal your body, mind, and soul. Drop into their site and heal yourself today. 80,000 people a month read the new Agora newspaper. Find out what's happening around the world regarding politics, health, supernatural, paranormal, and so much more. And if you have an iPhone, you can download the Spirit Story Box. Spirit Story Box, the official ghost hunting app of Spaced Out Radio. Tonight on SOR, we are going to have a potentially exciting show. We have had author Barry Strohm on a couple of times talking about his channeling connections with an extraterrestrial named Moo. Well, tonight, Moo has decided to join us for a live session with Barry and you, our space traveler audience. How this is going to work is through a channeling board that Barry uses to communicate with his off-world friend. We are also going to talk about Barry's new book, Aliens Among Us, Exploring Past and Present, will be officially released on March 22nd. This book gives a unique look at the alien presences as provided by channeled information from the spirit guides and the soul of an alien. If you want to know the truth about what's really out there, this book is the place to learn. So, I do want you to know that we do not know how long Moo will be with us. He may be on the channeling board through the entire show, or it may be just 10 minutes. We really don't know. Barry might. Moo will decide how long he wants to be with us. Hopefully, we get to ask him some exciting questions about extraterrestrials, disclosure, our future here on planet Earth. On that note, we are going to bring Barry Strohm into Spaced Out Radio tonight. Barry is being helped by his wife, Connie, on the channeling board. Barry, welcome to you and to Connie as well.
Hey, it's an honor to be here, David. You know, I always enjoy being on your show. It's a thrill.
I love having you on the air, Barry, because it's always something new and always something exciting, whether it's paranormal or extraterrestrial with you. So, first off, a lot of people don't know you own an antique store in Pennsylvania that is very haunted. How's that been going for you?
Our friends are still here at the store. We watch them every night when we shut down on the security cameras. It's a large store, and we have probably one of the largest ghost populations here in Pennsylvania. We have the ability to talk to them when we want to, see them when we want to. It's a great place for a non-believer.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I love, because you're bringing in all these different types of antiques, and there's spirits connected to them. So are you let me ask you this then, without getting tongue-tied. Are the spirits always coming and going when you sell items, or do the spirits who join those items stay in the store?
We have ghosts that stay in the store, and we have ghosts that go with the items. We had a haunted oil painting here one night. It was in the store. And whenever anybody that was sensitive would go by the booth that the painting was hanging in, the ghost would actually talk to the sensitives. We actually had a person almost drug into the booth one night by him. The ghost's name was Joseph, and it was a spirit attachment to this oil painting. It was his portrait. One day I'm up at the counter. A lady comes up, and she says, I have something back here that's talking to me. I walked back. I said, what is it? And she said, it's that oil painting on the wall. And I said to her, exactly how is it talking to you? And she said, he said he wants to go. He doesn't like the music that you play here at the store, and he would like to go home with me. So I want to buy the oil painting to keep him happy. She buys a $1,500 oil painting. Joseph goes home with her, and we haven't heard anything since.
Now, for a lot of people who are listening, most of our audience, Barry, is in the United States. A lot of that majority is on the East Coast. Where exactly in Pennsylvania is your store located, and what's it called for people who might want to just travel there to check it out?
It's called Golden Lane Antique Gallery, and it's a town of New Oxford, Pennsylvania. We're located about 8 miles from Gettysburg, which is one of the most haunted areas in the country. So, ghosts. We have a lot of ghosts in our area. I mean, I joke about the fact that nobody dies. If you die in New Oxford, you're never going to leave it. So I'm planning on not passing here when the time comes.
Well, that's good. At least you'll know you'll be here forever.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but we have a bunch of ghosts in the store we used to be a shoe factory. The building dates back to 1877, and we've actually channeled with 8 of the former workers that were here when it was a shoe factory. They give us their names. We ask them why they're still here, and they said that everybody that worked here was like a big family, and they just still like to come back and have a reunion with them. So, ghosts operate an awful lot like humans. They have many of the emotions that they had when they were human, and it's just a matter of they're on the other side of the veil.
Mm-hmm. We are talking with Barry Strohm tonight on Spaced Out Radio, his website, spiritspredict.com. We are going to get to Moo momentarily because Moo is hanging on the channeling board with Barry. Now, I've never done a spirit board channeling session here. So, Barry, for people who've never heard this, like it myself, how is this going to work?
Well, the way it's going to work is we do all of our communicating with the other side through a specially designed channeling board. It consists of letters and numbers. It's a little bit like a Ouija board, but the board we use, we've actually let the spirit guides themselves design. They've given us a prayer of protection for it. We use a special quartz slider to go to the letters, and we'll request a spirit guide or a special spirit to come in for us, and they will start to spell the messages out. Now, generally it takes 3 of us to do this. My wife and I will be on the board, and the third person will be writing down the letters or the numbers that are given to us. We don't have anybody writing letters tonight, so I've got to remember, try to keep track of it. I will call out the letters as we get messages from them. Keep track of what we're spelling. There's going to be times that we get that he makes a mistake. Just on a personal note, I've just had some surgery, so my personal energy is not as strong as it usually is when we channel, and they have to use my energy and Connie's energy to do it. So we may have a few technical problems, but we've talked to him about 10 minutes ago, and he was very strong and ready to go with it.
Excellent. Very excellent. So, Barry, as our listeners are piling into the chat rooms here, and it's starting to fill up very quickly here on our Space Out Radio chat room and as well as Paranormal Into the Night, how did you personally get started in this connection, not only with the Spirit Board, but with Moo?
The way it started, the guides actually led us to Moo. I was writing, we have probably channeled over 300 hours on the board. And I was working on a conspiracy book, which will be my 4th book. It'll be out. It's at the publishers. It'll be out in about 9 months. But I started just simply asking the guides questions about aliens. Are there aliens? Absolutely. How long have they been here? Since the time of the dinosaurs. Do they mean us any harm? No. They're friendly. And this was just coming from our regular spirit guides. And I decided I wanted to write a chapter on alien conspiracies for this book, and we were asking the regular guides, and then one night they say to us, we're going to introduce you to another spirit that will give you all the information you are looking for because he is one. And I said, what? He said, he is one, he's an alien. And then they were quick to say, don't worry, you're not going for any rides or abductions. Next session we have, and we do a lot of our channeling by Skype with friends out in Park City, Utah. I'll be here in Pennsylvania, and they'll have the board out in Salt Lake. We do this just to take any doubt out of the fact that we're influencing some of the answers we get on the boards. And I'll ask the questions. They'll know nothing about what's coming out there. We'll watch it on Skype, and they'll deliver the messages. So on this first particular night we had Moo, the board was out in Salt Lake City, and I was here in Pennsylvania. And he comes in, tells us how much he enjoys the high-tech way we're doing it, gives us some descriptions of what he looks like, gives us some preliminary information, and says that, he will continue to channel with us. And after that, we've probably been with him over 100 hours. I've gotten enough for the book, information from him for the book that's coming out on the 22nd, as well as he and I are working on another book, and we're about 20,000 words into that, which goes into much more detail on alien life around us. But they brought him to us. This was a gift of the spirit guides.
Well, that's very nice, and especially it's really developed a nice relationship with you and Moo, too, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's developed a very personal relationship with him. We were prepared, and he told me early on, he said, when you want to write, call me mentally, and I can get into your head and help you. He said, if I do not like what you're writing, I will make your nose itch or give you blurry vision. And I can actually tell when I'm writing whether I've got a presence with me or not. But we were getting ready to go down to Florida to visit our kids over Christmas, and he came in with a message. He said, you need to rest and go relax. Take Connie out to a very nice dinner and tell her how pretty she is. We start down the road, get into Maryland, pull into this nice restaurant for dinner, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden my nose starts to itch. And I said, Connie, you look really pretty tonight. And my nose stopped itching. So it really works. He does come in and give us messages, and I can tell when he's with me.
Now, I do want to remind my audience here that you lately have successfully gone through a couple of heart surgeries, and you are braving it very, very nicely with your energy to come on the show tonight. But I do want to let them know that, Barry, and I'll let you know if there's any time where you're starting to feel tired or something along those lines, I'd like it if you tell me. I have no problem whatsoever if you feel that you got to walk away from the show tonight because your energy is low.
No, I'm feeling pretty good tonight. He's here, and we're ready to take a shot at it and see what happens.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, do we know where Moo is from?
Yes, he's given me all the personal information about himself. He is from a planet, and you spell it R-O-B-B-E. I'm not sure how he would pronounce it. Obviously, he's got a different language than we have. It's the size of Jupiter. It has 8 moons and 2 suns, and it's on the far reaches of our Milky Way. It's not a planet that has ever been seen. It's not a planet that we've recorded as yet because it's so far away. Moo stands about 9.5 feet tall. He has a bluey skin. He has a large head, small eyes, and a large mouth. He has 2 hands similar to ours, but his feet are actually another set of hands. So when you look at him, he actually would be walking on feet that look like our hands. So his average lifespan, his average lifespan on his planet is about 950 of our years. And on his planet, males are born on a 1-to-5 ratio with the females because their supplies are short, and it's just more I can't even talk tonight. It's more efficient for there to be less males and have a polygamy relationship with multiple wives.
So in other words, they are very, very lucky men over there.
You could look at it one of 2 ways. Yes, they could be very lucky or very unlucky. With my wife sitting here, I'm going to tell you that they are some of the most lucky people in the world.
For sure, for sure. Let me reintroduce you. We are talking with Barry Strohm tonight. He is a professional channeler. His website, spiritspredict.com. He has a book coming out on March 22nd, Aliens Among Us, Exploring the Past and Present. I highly suggest you get that. And, Barry, I'm going to hit you up for a copy for our listeners, hopefully, if you don't mind. I know I'm springing that on you. But
I will send you one.
Excellent. I absolutely appreciate that. Now, when you started chatting with Moo, there's always a piece of skepticism that comes into your head where you wonder if you're actually channeling an extraterrestrial or not, or just a spirit having some fun. How did you know that this was the real deal for you?
It took a while. We would continuously ask questions that would test it. We started out with things like, if you're familiar with the Nazca lines in Peru, the alien form that's on the side of the mountain. I asked him how that was formed. He told us that they tested their laser weapons and actually carved out with their laser weapons as a demonstration of their power to the people down there. As time went on, I would ask him more and more questions about different types of presence, what they did with with different what they did during abductions. Probably the thing that totally convinced me was when he described the abduction that Connie had about 20 years ago. He was familiar with it. She was, let me tell you what happened to her. She dropped me at the airport in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, was driving back up I-95, and all of a sudden, she's 20 miles north of where she remembered being. She had gone through 2 exits, and the car had gone over 20 miles, and all of a sudden she's back, and it's just like you throw a switch. We could never figure out what happened. She went to the doctors. Doctors said she fell asleep. That's impossible on I-95 in Florida because of the traffic. So we never, ever really realized what had happened. So one night I asked him what took place. And he was familiar with the events, told us how they got the car up the road, was very emphatic to tell me that he did not personally participate in it. But he explained to us, how all this took place. And just by the sheer mass of evidence that I've gotten, over the last year with him, I'm totally convinced that he's the real deal. He can describe alien types. He knows what's going on. Lifetime. I'll give you another example. We were over in an apartment asleep, and I wake up and I look over on the side of the room, and here is about a 6-foot real alien standing in the bedroom. And I cleared my head. You think you're dreaming when you're seeing something like this. I cleared my head, and I continued to look, and he looks at me and smiles, and then knocks me back out. So the next morning I told Connie, I said, you're not going to believe this one, but I think we had a real alien in the room. So 2 nights later, we get on the channeling board, and once again we're on Skype with our friends out in Salt Lake City. And I asked the question, and the board's out there, they know nothing about what's going on. I said, Moo, what happened to me last night? He said, you saw an alien. And then he says, did you see him smile at you? Which nobody knew. I hadn't even mentioned that part to Connie. So that was about as good a verification that we have an active relationship going as I can tell you.
Going back to Moo, has he ever told you what species, type of extraterrestrial he is?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Has Moo ever told you what kind of extraterrestrial species he is?
Well, he refers to himself as a blue. There's not a lot of them out there. Not nearly as prolific as the grays or the little whites, or probably the most prolific are the little whites. But he refers himself as a blue, and he will participate with the other alien types on missions and anything that is generated within our Milky Way.
Mm-hmm. Another question that I have for you, has Moo ever been to Earth?
Okay, I got to back up a second to explain that one to you. The answer is yes. The reason that I have the ability to channel with an alien is that his soul is the same as a human soul. And they tell us that the human soul actually has the ability to reincarnate on other planets as other forms. And it's that same similarity of soul type that allows us to channel with him the same as we would channel with a regular human spirit, what everybody's used to. So the answer is yes. He reincarnated here over 1,000 years ago. Spent one short lifetime here and had enough of it, I guess, because I didn't mention that he wanted to come back.
Mm-hmm. We are talking with Barry Strohm tonight on Space Out Radio. His new book comes out on March 22nd, Aliens Among Us, Exploring the Past and Present I highly suggest you get that. Barry, what we're going to do here before we start the channeling session, we're going to go to our first break of the night. Then when we come back, I have a couple questions from our audience, and then we'll start to see what Moo has for us as messages tonight on Spaced Out Radio. So, Barry, I'm going to get you to hold on. Audience, you're listening to Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott. We'll be right back after this break.
This is Patrick Webster Small, and I'm going to bring you the Webster Phenomena right here on Spaced Out Radio, Monday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Time. Every week, I'm going to bring you the freshest information on the globe. I'm bringing you guys the truth, extraterrestrials in the sky, prophecy, chemtrails, rainbow spot, the seventh angel, biblical skies, ancient gods, ghosts, spirits, see it, hear it. So let's do this every Monday night. I'll see you back here at 8 p.m. Pacific Time.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com for mind, body, and spirit, and expect a miracle.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Did you know that Spaced Out Radio is live 7 days a week? This is Jim Tyson, host of Spaced Out Weekend. You can listen to my show, Spaced Out Weekend, every Saturday and Sunday night starting at 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific. On Spaced Out Weekend, we like to delve into the paranormal, even the newest technologies that have enhanced modern-day ghost hunting. And sometimes, we'll get a little creative and dabble into the crypto world, UFOs, and much, much more. So tune in at www.spacedoutradio.com on the weekends and listen to me, Jim Tyson, on Spaced Out Weekend.
Hi there, this is Jolene with Rivulet Reiki and Readings, and I want you to relax. Let me help you chill out and get in touch with your body, mind, and soul. In this busy world, sometimes we need to let go, and this is where I can help. Visit my website, rivuletrndr.wix.com/rivuletrndr, or my Facebook page, Rivulet R&R, to set up an appointment for relaxation, Reiki, or readings, no matter where you are. Spaced Out Radio listeners will also receive 10% off their first visit. It's time for you to make time for you.
The Spaced Out Radio Network can be found at spacedoutradio.com. Hi there, this is Dave Scott. Here you can join the latest on our weekly shows and news from around the world involving UFOs, cover-ups, cryptids, ghosts, and more. Read articles from our very talented staff and check out our weekly tarot card reading from Psychic Catherine. You can also sign up for free on our forum and tell us about your experiences. SpacedOutRadio.com. Always live, always interactive.
Ready to find out what's flying up in the sky? Me too. Hi there, this is Rich Giordano. Please join me every Sunday night at 7 for the AZ UFO Show. It's a fast and compelling 2-hour show on UFOs, extraterrestrials, conspiracy theories, and much more. Every week we will have great guests and great topics to try and answer the ultimate question, are we alone in this universe or not? So tune in to the AZ UFO Show with me, Rich Giordano, right here on the Spaced Out Radio Network at spacedoutradio.com.
Would you like to connect with Dave and his guests? Learn more at spacedoutradio.com for the latest news, features, photos, and articles. Spacedoutradio.com is where you can stay up to date on what's happening around the world and up in the stars. And now, back to Dave Scott.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Spaced Out Radio. Tonight I am your host, Dave Scott, and thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow night on the show, Taya Krulos is going to join us. He is an author of a book and he investigates real-life superheroes. I'm looking forward to this one. No, there's no capes, there's no cloaks, there's nobody flying, but people who can do some pretty extraordinary things, like you and I. Tomorrow night on Spaced Out Radio. Hey, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at Spaced Out Radio. Give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. You can also ask to join our Spaced Out Radio group, as well as Podcast Central. On Instagram, I can be followed at Dave Scott, SOR, our new YouTube channel where our archives are going to be. That is at Spaced Out Radio Show. Our website has a new look to it. If you haven't checked it out, much easier to navigate, spacedoutradio.com. And I do want to remind people, earlier today, I did the first test show with James Tyson from Spaced Out Weekend on Spreaker. We got a couple of bugs we got to work out, but it is sounding good. It is sounding clear. So make sure you sign up for Spreaker. Make sure you give Spaced Out Radio a follow. We're over 600 followers as of today. We need to get to 1,000. Your participation is necessary. Tonight we are talking with Barry Strohm. He is sitting with his wife Connie tonight. They are sitting with their channeling board. And Moo, the extraterrestrial, the blue from the other side, planet called Robe, R-O-B-B-E, I think that's how we would pronounce it here on Earth, is with us as well. We're going to start a live channeling session with Moo momentarily. We bring Barry back in. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Barry and Connie.
Oh, we're wide awake and ready to go.
Our pleasure.
Excellent. Excellent. I do have a couple of questions for you from our Space Out Radio audience. The first one comes from Elizabeth Anglin, who is a monthly contributor to this show, and she is wondering if Moo has anything to say about Joelle or Arthur. Joelle is a ship. Arthur is her son who lives with a group she works with.
We have problems answering personal questions for people because we don't have that personal attachment with him. It's generally we will have luck getting answers on a general question, like, you know, how big is a mothership or something like that. But without a personal contact, a direct online contact, we don't have a lot of luck answering personal questions. We do sessions. Okay. We do sessions with people where we can do it, but we pull them up on Skype so that we're looking right at them on Skype.
Okay.
And we can answer personal questions like that, but without that type of contact, it's tough. It's just not going to work.
Will do. So if people have questions out there, keep them general, not personal. All right. Dino has a question from Paranormal Into the Night. Is Moo the only extraterrestrial you have channeled, or are there other aliens or spirits?
Well, I've channeled many, many other spirits. I've done over 300 hours of it. I've channeled spirits from the saints to the apostles to Jack Kennedy to George Custer, and that's all in another book that I'm doing. I have channeled. Moo has brought other extraterrestrials with him for information, and when the answers are coming in over the board, I cannot tell whether it's Moo or another spirit has moved in. Occasionally, I will feel the energy change. I'm sure we've had answers from other aliens, but it's, as far as I know, technically everything's come from Moo, but he does bring other aliens with him. One night he brought 2 aliens from outside of our galaxy along, and I tried to get some questions to him, and he said, you can't ask them questions because you have no idea what their language is or what their emotions are or what they feel, so there's no way you can actively question them or understand anything. So I just kind of dropped it at that. But it makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Dino has a follow-up question for you. What is the most interesting spirit from our history that you've ever talked to?
Oh, boy. The most interesting spirit from our history. I would think it's John Kennedy. I really enjoyed the interview with him. He was very down to earth. I asked him if he wanted me to call him Mr. President. He said, no, call me Jack. He gave us told us what happened at the assassination. Very, very interesting interview historically. Had a very good session with George Custer where he told us what happened at the Little Bighorn. So I've talked to some pretty amazing creatures.
Mm-hmm. What did Jack Kennedy have to say?
He said that Lyndon Johnson was behind the assassination, which there are books to that. A book has come out in the last year stating that. Oswald was not the shooter. He actually gave me the name of the shooter, and you can go back into the different conspiracy theories and find the name that he gave me. But I asked him the question. I said, he told me, he said, I had a hunch that something was going to happen. So I said, well, if you had a hunch something was going to happen, why did you ride in an open car in Texas? His answer was, I was no coward. And, you know, he's quite a guy. It was quite an interview.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. I do have some questions piling up for Moo here. So
okay.
Would you like to start channeling with Moo?
Yes, take a shot and see what happens. Let's hear the question.
All right. And while you're doing that, I want our audience to know, if you have a pen and paper, Barry, you're going to be giving us the letters, right?
As this thing goes to the letters or numbers, I will give them to you.
Okay.
I'll call the letters out like I would in an ordinary session. It's just I don't have anybody here to write them down.
Oh, we'll write them down. I'm sure everybody here is either near a keyboard or has a pen and paper with them. They want to go old school to do it. So if we could check out if Moo is there, that would be wonderful.
Okay. Moo, are you with us right now? It went to yes.
Excellent.
So
the first question. All right. The first question comes from Nisa in Paranormal Into the Night. What is Moo's planet like, and does it have water?
That is, I can answer that without it. I actually cover all that in my book. Let's see what he wants to tell us about it. Okay. Moo, what would you like to tell us about your planet? Can you do that? R A V
V like in Victor.
D. I'm not sure this is making sense. I can tell you what it's like. He has the water content it's H3O on his planet. It rains every morning. They live underground. It's a heavy water that it freezes very slowly. Planet the size of Jupiter, and very, very different from ours.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try a direct question I don't know the answer to. Moo, is the oxygen on your planet the same as the oxygen that we breathe here? No. What can you tell me the content of the oxygen? Do you breathe oxygen? No. What do you breathe? Are you the same thing we did before? Okay, he's answering this. It's RUA. But what you run into when you're talking to him is that he describes things in a language that we don't understand. So when he spells out a word, it'll be his word. I may not be clear here, but generally he'll describe it, and you won't. Sometimes you can't understand it because it's in his language.
Okay, well, we'll do our best with him. Yeah. We understand that.
Yeah, can you move? S T A R T start W I T H start with A W O R D. He said start with a word. I'm not sure what he meant by that.
I'm not too sure either. I'm not.
All right, Moo, do you have a word in mind you'd like to start with? Yes. All right, will you tell me what it is? S U R E. Sure. He's playing games with us. What word do you want us to start with? Can you tell us that? Q U E S T. He wants a question. Give me a question. Give me a question that's we can do a yes or no on to get him started here.
All right. I have been told, I'll ask a personal question here. I have been told by one of our extraterrestrial experts on this show, R. Keith Andrews, that he knows of different alien species listening to this show on a nightly basis, as weird as that may sound. Is this possible, and is this happening?
Okay.
What's that mean?
Yes. Apparently, it's happening.
Excellent. Are we heading in the right direction with this show as it grows?
Yeah, that was a strong yes. Went right to it.
Well, that's good to know. I love the strong yeses when I use a spirit board.
Yes.
Does he see this show, and I'll continue with this show as the questions start to come in, does he see this show being way bigger than what we could probably comprehend, or are we just going to, well, we'll keep it at that. I won't make it too difficult.
Okay, Moo, can you answer that one?
Is the show going to get bigger?
Is the show going to get a lot bigger, Moo? Yes. Moo, do you want to expound on that at all?
He's ready for the next question.
He's ready for the next question. But sometimes I can talk to him in my head. I hear him in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hearing much bigger while we were playing with that question.
Okay. Let's see if we have any questions from the chat room here in regards to Moo, the extraterrestrial. We got a few different chat rooms going. We also have, just so you know, one of the chat rooms that follows us is called Paranormal Into the Night. And Dino, who runs the Paranormal Into the Night, he's actually using his Ouija board right now to communicate along with you.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So I'm finding this. Everybody's so excited about this show. It's kind of fun.
Well, I certainly don't know what's going to happen next. I can tell you that.
Okay, let's start off with a little bit of disclosure here.
Okay.
If Hillary Clinton gets into the White House as president, because of John Podesta, does disclosure happen?
It went to the letter 5. And you're working with a supposition. One thing I have not been able to squeeze out of my guides is who's going to be the next president.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he just went to NR for he didn't want to answer it.
No response?
No response. I think that meant no response.
Okay. Not a problem.
I have been trying. I have reworded the questions every way I can think of, trying to find out who the next president's going to be, and he simply won't tell me. Is that correct?
Yes. Not a problem. well, you know what? I can see that happening for the reason that he probably knows, but he doesn't. There are things that we need to find out on our own here. There is
exactly
free will.
Right. And he will not give us any information that could change what's going to happen. So, no, I've tried every which way to find out. I can't. He won't answer it.
Okay.
And none of the guys will.
Does he or will he answer questions? Will Moo answer questions about...
Okay, let's try this. Is there a secret space program? Yes. Will you answer questions about it? A, F, E, W. A few. Go.
Have we been to... Or let me ask this. Are we on Mars?
Are we on Mars? No.
Do we have a base on the moon?
Yes.
Do we have a base on Saturn's moon, Titan? Have we been to Venus?
No.
Have we been to any other planet?
Yes.
Can he tell us which one?
No. I didn't say he's helpful all the time, you know.
No, that's fair. That's very fair. Do we know the planets that we have been on?
No.
Are they in our universe or solar system?
No.
Does Nibiru have aliens on it?
No.
Is God real?
Yes.
Is there a heaven?
Oh, yeah. I covered that one in my second book.
Perfect. Bill from Paranormal. Go ahead. Sorry, Barry.
One night I asked, where, is heaven in the sky? And the answer was no. Heaven is the sky. It's all around you. That's why the spirits are all around you, because they're in heaven. Heaven's just not what you conceive of it.
I have a question for Moo from Bill in Paranormal Into the Night. Does Moo think humans have a long future as a race?
Yes.
In our lifetimes, will we be able to live longer than what is normally acceptable?
No. I think what he's saying there is that their plan is to lead us to longevity. Our humans have got one of the shortest life cycles of any of the planets. He says we're very susceptible to sickness, and where his culture lives 950 years, we live 70 or 80.
Right.
And they are trying to medically lead us into a longevity, so we can do a lot of the things that the other cultures in the universe do.
Question for Moo from Pat Penn in the Spaced Out Radio chat room. Is Nibiru near us now, and will it affect us?
No.
Question from Marlena. How close is Moo's planet to Earth?
Three. 9. 390. I think he's having trouble with this one. All right, let's try this. Moo, can you answer it in, is light year a measured distance?
Sure. I can accept that as a non-physicist.
Okay. How many light years, can you tell me how many light years away your planet is? 3, 6, 8, 9. He said 3,689 light years. There could be some significant zeros in there that I'm not aware of. It's on the far reaches of the Milky Way. It's on a far wing. I do know that.
Excellent. I have a question from Bruce in the Paranormal Into the Night chat room. Does Moo sleep, or is he available 24/7?
Moo, do you sleep? No, he doesn't sleep.
See, that's the lifetime I need. I don't need to sleep. If I could give up sleeping, I would be perfect. That would be the perfect life for me.
Yeah, especially when you're on the East Coast doing a show in Vancouver.
All right. Let's get to another question from Pat Penn. Is planet Earth about to experience a significant pole shift?
Yes. And we've been told that by guides other than aliens, too, so.
And Jim would like to know from Spaced Out Radio's chat room, is Moo telepathic as well?
Oh, yeah. And then some. He knows exactly what I'm thinking. I've had him in sessions actually answer questions that were in my mind before I asked them. So, yeah, he really is.
How does he do that? And this will be my final question before we go to break here, Barry. But how does he do that? You know, when he's 3,689 light years away, how does he have the ability to telepathically communicate with you?
The energy of his soul can be in different places at the same time. That's how he does it. He splits his energy.
It's that simple?
Not a big deal for him.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'm just... this is heavy stuff, man. I'm not going to lie. This is heavy stuff. So, on that note, let's take a break here at the top of the hour. You're listening to Spaced Out Radio. Our guest tonight is Barry Strohm. His website, spiritspredict.com. His new book comes out on March 22nd, Aliens Among Us, Exploring the Past and Present. I highly suggest you get it. You're listening to Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott. We'll be right back after this break.
The Phoenix Lights, Roswell, secret military aircraft, flying saucers. Let's check out the sky together. Hi, this is Rich Giordano, host of the AZ UFO Show right here on the Spaced Out Radio Network. Every Sunday night at 7, we hit the airwaves to talk about the phenomenon of unidentified flying objects and more. We want to hear your stories. Maybe you've seen what many others have seen. Only one way to find out, the AZ UFO Show on Sunday nights on the Spaced Out Radio Network on spacedoutradio.com.
Hi there, this is James Tyson, host of Spaced Out Weekends, and I know you're enjoying tonight's show with Dave Scott on Spaced Out Radio. I just wanted to remind you that Spaced Out Radio continues on the weekends with me. On Spaced Out Weekend, we hit the airwaves at www.spacedoutradio.com starting at 10 p.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern. We have great guests with interesting chats regarding all things paranormal, supernatural, cryptozoological, and much, much more. So tune in to Spaced Out Weekend and give us a listen.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com for mind, body, and spirit, and expect a miracle.
Need a break but don't have the time? Tired of life's running around? Hi, this is Jolene from Rivulet Relaxation and Readings. Let me help you in your time of need. From Reiki to realm readings, I can help provide you therapy for your mind, body, and soul. Check out my website at rivuletrr.wix.com/rivuletrr. And if you're a listener of Spaced Out Radio, receive 10% off your first session. Rivulet Relaxation and Readings. And don't forget to give my Facebook page a like. It's time for you to make some important time for you.
The Spaced Out Radio Network can be found at spacedoutradio.com. Hi there, this is Dave Scott. Here you can join the latest on our weekly shows and news from around the world involving UFOs, cover-ups, cryptids, ghosts, and more. Read articles from our very talented staff and check out our weekly tarot card reading from Psychic Catherine. You can also sign up for free on our forum and tell us about your experiences. SpacedOutRadio.com. Always live, always interactive.
The Webster Phenomena airs on Spaced Out Radio on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific Time. I'm your host, Patrick Webster Small, and I discovered extraterrestrials in the atmosphere, which led me to more discoveries, developing the Webster Phenomena, which is the occurrence of extraterrestrials throughout nature. I will explain the Webster Phenomena and all my recent discoveries every Monday night. at 8 p.m. Pacific Time, right here on Spaced Out Radio.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Want to call in to Spaced Out Radio? You can. 1-607-203-5344. You can tweet us at Spaced Out Radio or send us a message on Facebook at Spaced Out Radio. And now, back to the show. Here's Dave Scott.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. Thank you so much for being with us. Tomorrow night on the show, we will be talking with Tia Krulos. We're going to be talking about real-life superheroes, people just like you and I, except they have very superhero skills. That is tomorrow night on Spaced Out Radio, before I disappear into the wilderness for a couple of days to find my zen up in the caves of the mountains high above here in British Columbia. Hey, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at Spaced Out Radio. You can give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. You can also ask to join our private Spaced Out Radio group, as well as our other group, Podcast Central. On Instagram, I can be followed at Dave Scott, SOR. Our YouTube channel is Spaced Out Radio Show. And our new look website is spacedoutradio.com. Have a look. Easier to navigate. Have some fun with it. We will be expanding that as well. We did do a test show earlier today on Spreaker as we prepare for that. We got a couple of minor Skype glitches to figure out. Once we do that, we get our audio finished, we will be moving from Blog Talk Radio over to Spreaker full time. So make sure you sign up for that if you haven't done so already, just like the other 606 people on there. Tonight we are talking with Barry Strohm, his website, spiritspredict.com, his latest book, Aliens Among Us, Exploring the Past and Present. Barry, thank you so much. And Connie, his wife, who's working behind the scenes with the Spirit Board tonight, thank you so much for being with us. I do want to clarify with our audience, I had a little bit of a chat with Barry earlier, right before we came back on the air. Barry is recovering from open heart surgery and having a couple of surgeries to make sure his ticker is working good. His energy is a little bit low. Moo is not feeding off his energy very well, so we're going to try and keep the questions short. So if you're in Space Out Radio's chat room, you're in Paranormal Into the Night, if you have a question for Moo, try and keep it to a yes or no question. I know you want full answers, except we have to give a little bit of grace that Barry, just a week or two off of major heart surgery, is here with us tonight to have this channeling session live with you. So I ask some patience here, but let's try and keep the answers to yes, no, or very short answer type questions. Barry, thank you so much for joining us, and Connie as well.
Okay. We're still awake. We're good.
Excellent. I have a question from Eugene, who's on Facebook. He's asking, how, Barry, can you speak to spirits who have never really died, and how is the alien afterlife different from ours?
Okay. The first one is we don't need to use Moo for. How can I speak to spirits that haven't really died? All they've done is change dimension. They've moved from this incarnate side where you have got a couple dimensions to the other side where you've got 6 or 7 dimensions. So the soul is indestructible. The soul lives forever. It can neither be destroyed or created. The soul just moves along. You reincarnate into different body forms. I mean, I can historically prove my prior life. So the soul it's among us. The soul's in the ghosts that we see. I just saw one move up through the doorway out here in the store. I think we have a couple listening in. They enjoy this too. What was the second question? I forgot it.
The second question was, let me bring it up here again. Bear with me. How is the alien afterlife different from ours?
It's not. It's not. He's in the same heaven we're in. Heaven is the concept here in Earth. You can project your soul energy to other planets. You can have a life plan where you can reincarnate on other planets. So the afterlife of the aliens is really very similar to what we have. I did it for my first book, Haunting History of the Battle of Gettysburg. I did a ton of photography for it on the Gettysburg battlefield. And I actually have ectoplasm mist clouds with the heads of aliens in them, where I can recognize alien heads in the mist. So they're intermixing with us. As a matter of fact, we're going to be doing a special session coming up the end of April, where Mu has promised that he will merge dimensions with us so that I can actually see him and touch him. We're going to try to record it on the cameras, but they're trying to educate us to move ahead, that we understand what is around us. Most people have no clue what's going on around them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that answers the question or not.
Sure. Dino from Paranormal Into the Night has a question for you specifically, Barry. What was it like, and what did the apostles have to say when you channeled them?
Absolutely amazing. We channeled St. Andrew, St. Timothy, and St. Bartholomew. And to ask them what it was actually like to know Jesus, the answer was to know Jesus was to know pure love. The energies are amazing. One night we actually had the Blessed Mother come in for a guest. We had no idea she was going to make an appearance. The woman's son was suffering. He's had like 20 operations and very bad. And the woman had been praying to the Blessed Mother, and she came in to just simply to tell her that she was always with her. And when that energy came in, I had tears rolling down my face. It's just, their energy is just so much different than what the standard energies are. It's quite an experience. If you go on to my website, Spirits Predict, you can get an idea of some of it, but I have another website that's called messagesofheaven.com. It's messagesofheaven.com. And on there I have the statements that were given to us by the saints and the popes, because we've also had multiple sessions with St. Augustine, Pope Sylvester. That was the Pope when they selected the Gospels, when Constantine selected the Gospels. And Messages of Heaven has got a lot of information that we received from that type of channeling session.
Thank you for answering that. All right, we have some questions for Mu from the Space Out Radio chat room as well as Paranormal Into the Night. I will get Kimmy Gibbler's question here for Mu. Is there or has there ever been intelligent on Jupiter's moons?
Yes.
Is there still life there today?
Yes.
Is there life on any other planet in our solar system that we may know about but has not been released to the public?
No. Now, let me clarify something. There's a lot of alien presence on our moon and other planets. But I don't think there's any, they've never told us about any other life form that is native to our solar system.
Okay, so let's ask then, does Mars have, or let's ask if Mars is colonized?
Is Mars colonized? Okay. No.
Is Venus?
No.
Mercury?
No.
Saturn?
Yes. It's
Saturn's
on one of the
moons?
It's on one of the Saturn's moons.
Titan?
Is the moon Titan that it's on? Yes.
Okay. How about Jupiter?
No.
Neptune?
No.
Pluto?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't expect that one.
You never know what's coming.
Eugene has a question specifically for you, Barry. This is from Facebook.
Okay.
How do you know, Barry, that you are not talking to demonic spirits on the board?
By the sheer mass of information that we've received, by all the Christian type messages we've received, all the messages of love, the information we've been given by the saints. They've told us if that's a demonic, it's a really good demonic.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me give you the best example of it. When we started doing the channeling, designing the channeling board, we let the spirits tell us what shape they wanted to take. And they gave us a prayer of protection to use whenever we channel. And when Connie and I sat down tonight, we repeated this prayer. This is the exact words of the spirit guide. And our prayer goes, God, please grant us your wisdom and protection. Grant us the knowledge that we can handle and keep us safe from all things that will harm us. Keep the messages positive and pure love. Keep us safe from our own ego. We ask these things in the light of the seen, the unseen, and the honesty of God. If that message was given to me by a demonic, I'm not sure how to answer that.
We have a couple more questions out of the Space Out Radio chat room and a few more out of Paranormal Into the Night that I need to get to. Jim is asking, let me just read up here. Jim is asking, what dimension does Mu reside in?
Multiples. He doesn't just reside in one dimension. They change dimension. As a matter, hopefully the end of April, he's going to show us how to merge one of the dimensions that he's in. They're in dimensions unknown to the human race.
Elizabeth is asking, was Mars colonized in the past, or did it support life at one point?
Was there ever a colony on Mars? Yes.
We have heard stories that the Mars colonies that were there were wiped out by some sort of almost like a nuclear war. Did that happen?
No.
Did they just leave because there was no water?
Yes.
Makes sense.
We'll
go to some questions.
A lot of this makes a lot more sense than you think.
Mm-hmm. I fully agree. We're going to go to some questions from Paranormal Into the Night. This one from Bill. Is Earth in any danger from hostile aliens?
Let me digress. He has given me several statements that he likes me to read once in a while on the radio. And this one in particular kind of answers that question for you. And these are Moo's exact words. He says, we're here to help you. We do not want your planet. We have our own, thank you, and we do not want to harm you. This is all nonsense that we want what you have. We are here to make sure that you can make the leap when you are ready. And that kind of sums up their position.
Nice. No, that's relaxing. But what about people who are having negative experiences? Maybe has he ever told you anything about that?
Yes. He's told us in length, and I actually have a chapter in my book on abductions. The rules for abductions have changed through the years. They allowed, a couple generations ago, they allowed some genetic testing. That's one of the reasons why we have all the autism today. Those tests are not allowed anymore. There's a galactic commission that actually controls the rules that they can use in research. They're trying to understand everything that the humans do at self-destruction. All the crap that we eat, they're continuously monitoring everything that we're doing to destroy ourselves before we can advance.
That's interesting. Does Moon know? I have one of our listeners who frequents this show on a nightly basis. He's probably listening right now, even though I haven't seen him, who has been taken by a black manted type being. Does Moon know of any black manted type beings?
Yes.
Are they benevolent? Because they've done some pretty weird things with him surgically, and he doesn't like it.
That's understandable in many instances, yeah.
This has been going on for a year for him. Does Moo have a number on when his experiences may cease?
No.
Is he allowed to contact the black mantids?
You, your friend?
Yes.
No. They're in charge.
But they're benevolent. They're good.
Yes. They're all good. They're just doing different things, just like animal testing. It looks brutal to us because of all the harm they do to the animals, but they're trying to test what's in our food chain and how they can guide us into the future.
Life on Moo's planet. This comes from Gail in Paranormal Into the Night. Is it a peaceful race, or is it something that they see a lot of war?
Yes, it's a peaceful race. And once you get off the young planets, war doesn't really exist out there. It's all under control of a commission, and they really dictate the rules, and they've learned not to kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually said that there's other young planets that are more violent than ours.
Are there other human planets out there?
No. Humans are a pretty unique species.
Yes, I think we are. Because we sure know how to screw this up around here. Let's be honest.
It's all part of the learning process.
Mary from Paranormal Into the Night. Go ahead, Barry.
No, I was just going to say, he made a statement one night that wars teach us compromise, and we have to learn to compromise. I thought that was pretty perceptive.
Well, this brings up a quick question for me then.
Okay.
When they are shutting down the nuclear missile silos around the world, are they doing that so that way we do not harm ourselves?
No.
Are they doing that to protect them?
Yes.
Mary from Paranormal Into the Night has a question. Does Moo intervene with happenings here on Earth?
No. They're precluded by the rules of the Commission from doing a lot of intervention here. Alien visits to our planet, I liken to us going to the zoo to watch the animals. They kind of come here to see how the humans are doing and watch how they perform.
Another interesting question from Paranormal Into the Night from Gail. Does Moo have children? If yes, how many?
How many, Moo? I know you have children. You have 6. Moo, how many wives do you have? 3.
This may sound like a real stupid question, but do they live in housing like we do? Like subdivisions where the kids go outside and play on the swing set? Or
no.
Is it... Has he ever talked to you about that?
Yes. Yeah, they don't... a child is still considered an adolescent until he is 300 of our years old. I got to change diapers for 300 years. They mature slowly and they live long lives. They don't fight. They have peaceful existence. They telecommunicate. They do a lot of, it's just an advanced culture. It's not a large culture, but it's an advanced one.
Do they have things there like money or clothing or grocery stores?
Okay. Moo, do you wear clothes? No. Do you have grocery stores? Yes.
So do they have a sense of currency there?
You use money? No.
So if he goes to get groceries, he just goes, takes what he wants, and leaves?
Yes.
Wow, that would be nice.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Apparently his planet's felt the burn, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Gloria is asking, is it possible for humans to visit Moo on his planet?
No. Keep in mind, Moo is a spirit. You know, he Moo passed in 1987 in our time at the age of 952 years. And
when
part
will
of his
go ahead, please.
I was just
Sorry.
going to say that part of his mission is helping to inform us so that we can move ahead towards disclosure. I'm sure he works with other people, because he will disappear, go on trips, and not tell me exactly what he's doing for periods of time. But I do have the ability to call on him for special events like this now.
Does he plan on reincarnating, and does he have a choice of where he gets to go?
Okay, Moo, you're going to reincarnate? No. He's going to, I think his mission now, the whole idea is of reincarnation in multiple lives is attempting to get your soul more godlike. On Moo's planet, they worship the same God we do. God sent his son to Moo's planet 4,000 years ago, and they refer to him as the Wise One. They actually have a celebration like our Christmas, where they celebrate the birth of the Wise One. But apparently all of the planets in our galaxy have the same God. And wherever there is an intelligent life form, God has sent his son to that planet.
Bruce has a question for Moo. Are there Bigfoot on Moo's planet?
Hey, Moo, you got Bigfoot? No.
Are Bigfoot Earth-like creatures, or are they a form of extraterrestrial?
I can answer that. I happen to have written a chapter on Bigfoot. They're Earth-like, and they are multidimensional. They have the ability to change dimension, and that is why nobody's ever caught one. They kind of stand in the doorway between dimensions, and they can become invisible. But they're a humanoid-type culture.
They're a beautiful species to see up close as well. I can tell you that firsthand.
I'll bet they are.
I only hope.
As you know, they're very, very real.
Yes, I do. And I really hope I get the opportunity to see them again. I feel like I need to do that this summer, which I will plan on going into the forests around my area to look. I have an idea of where I'm supposed to go, and hopefully it will happen as the plan they've given me.
They learn not to fear you. They fear humans in general. That's why they're where they are.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And they're everywhere. Moo said that you would be amazed how many there are if you knew how to see the signs.
I believe that. I totally believe that. Barry, I'm going to get you to hold on. We are already at our final break of the night. We are talking with Barry Strohm tonight on Space Out Radio, along with his wife Connie and Moo, the extraterrestrial spirit that he communicates with via a spirit board. We'll get more to your questions right after this. You're listening to Space Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott. We'll be right back.
Want to find out what's coming up on the Spaced Out Radio Network? Go to spacedoutradio.com, where you can find our daily list of shows and guests appearing throughout the week. Want to tell us your story? Be sure to sign up for the Spaced Out Forum for free. Maybe you have a psychic question. Drop in and say hi to Catherine in Cat's Corner. spacedoutradio.com, your 24-hour source for UFOs, ghosts, conspiracies, and more. Check it out today.
Are you one of many who's had a UFO or ET experience? Listen up. The AZ UFO show is on every Sunday night at 7 on the Spaced Out Radio Network. We talk about UFO sightings across the globe, conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, and more with me, Rich Giordano. I want you to know what's going on in the skies above you, so tune in to the AZ UFO show on Spaced Out Radio Network, on spacedoutradio.com, right before Spaced Out Weekend. Our show is literally out of this world.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com for mind, body, and spirit, and expect a miracle.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Brand new discovery beats NASA. This is Patrick Webster Small bringing you the Webster Phenomena every Monday night at 8 p.m. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to talk about amazing stuff, have amazing guests. That's all there is, man. You know the rest. As ET's up in the sky, I'm going to tell you which way and why. And we're going to have a little combo about these ETs in the sky. We're going to chill. This is Patrick Webster Small, and I'll be seeing you every Monday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Time. Write it down on Spaced Out Radio.
Is the 24-hour world starting to wear you down? let me from Rivulet Reiki and Readings lend you a hand. Hi, this is Jolene, and if you're in need of Reiki or a realm reading, come to my website, rivuletrndr.wix.com/rivuletrndr, and let us help you out. At Rivulet, I specialize in healing your body, mind, and soul, no matter where you are. And be sure to check out the Rivulet R&R Facebook page for your best deals. Remember, it's time for you to make some time for you.
Hi there, this is Jim Tyson, host of Spaced Out Weekend. When you've had a busy week and you're just wanting to chill out and relax, how about listening into my show? That's right, Spaced Out Weekend. I focus on the paranormal, the arcane. I even dip into the techie side of things and much, much more. And I would love for you to come in and check it out. Remember, Spaced Out Radio goes 7 days a week. Dave Scott, Monday through Friday, and me, Jim Tyson, rolling through the weekends. I look forward to having you stop by for a listen every Saturday and Sunday night, 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific, only on Spaced Out Radio.
Missed most of tonight's show? Don't worry, you didn't miss a thing. You can head to our website where you can download the podcast at spacedoutradio.com. Now, back to tonight's show. Here's Dave Scott.
Welcome back for the final half hour of Spaced Out Radio. Tonight we've rounded third. We're heading for home. Man, this has been a quick show. Always is with Barry Strohm. His latest book, Aliens Among Us, comes out on March 22nd. And it's going to be good. Tomorrow night on the show, we're going to finish up the week talking about superheroes. No, not Superman, Batman, Captain America, Wonder Woman, or anybody like that. These are real-life superheroes, people with superpowers. We're going to talk to Tia Krulos about that tomorrow night on Spaced Out Radio before I head into the mountains soul-searching for the weekend, as I always do. And Uncle Jimbo James Tyson is back in the cabin for Spaced Out Weekend. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at Spaced Out Radio. You can give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show, as well as ask to join our private Spaced Out Radio group and Podcast Central. On Instagram, I can be followed at Dave Scott, SOR, and you can check out our YouTube channel, where our archives are being downloaded, Spaced Out Radio Show. Our website has a new look as of this week, Spaced Out Radio Show. We thank Mrs. Spaced Out Radio and her computer skills for that. A hell of a lot more easier to navigate. So, let's get back to the channeling session with Moo the Alien. We bring in Barry Strohm and his wife Connie, who's in the background. It's been a fast show once again, Barry.
Yeah, we've enjoyed it. A lot of fun.
Me too. We'll continue with the questions from the audience because there is a lot of them.
Okay.
Mary is asking from Paranormal Into the Night, will we ever get disclosure on ETs in the near future?
Okay, Moo, will we in the near future? No. Let's try this. Moo, how many years will it be until we get disclosure? 4, 5, 45 years.
Oh, goodness. I might not even be here by then.
Well, I know I won't. Nor do I even want to be. I got to get rid of this body and get a new one sometime.
Mm-hmm. I hear you there. Is there ever going to be an asteroid strike on Earth? This comes from Pat Penn.
Is there going to be an asteroid strike, Moo? Can you answer that? Not in the near term.
I'm sorry I missed that one.
No.
Well, that's nice to know. I think that would hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Don't like that.
We were told last year that there was going to be a strike in March over in the Pacific. But I think now that thing has moved off. So I think we're safe from that because let me try something here. Lou, is that asteroid strike we were told about still going to take place? No. Yeah, that's that asteroid that was getting all the publicity, passing so close to the Earth. I think they thought it was going to hit us about a year ago. So we're safe.
Perfect. Nisa is asking, is Atlantis real?
Is Atlantis real? Yes.
Will we ever find Atlantis?
Yes.
Does he know when? In years?
How many years until he discovered Atlantis moon? 34 years.
Bill Cardwell from Paranormal Into the Night is asking, does Moo know of a power source we can develop that will free humans to pursue other things?
Yes.
Do we know what it is now?
Do we know? No, we don't know. He knows.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a different type of power. Their ships are. I've gone into this in the book, and they have a different type of a nuclear energy that they use, and they need fuel rods and storage and all that stuff around the galaxy. But it is different from what we do.
Will people on Earth continue to have spiritual enlightenment as we move away from religion?
He ain't answered that it's not moving. He and I have spent a lot of time on religion and God in general. And he says even on his planet they still have non-believers in spite of all the evidence to the contrary. So it's but he didn't answer the question.
Jim in the Space Out Radio chat room wants to know, did God or Jesus create him and others as well?
Did God create you?
Yeah. No, did God create the soul? Are you a soul? He just said, are you a soul? He answered a question with a question.
Well, I think that's a pretty obvious answer then.
Yes.
Joe in the Space Out Radio chat room is asking, did aliens build the pyramids in Egypt?
I got to get a little book plug here. I go through alien assistance in all of these famous structures like the pyramids, the Nazca lines, a lot of the different structures in South America. But we actually get into a lot of detail about all the ancient alien stuff.
I do have to ask this because I'm Canadian and I love my bacon. Do they have bacon on their planet?
Moo, you got bacon? No. No bacon.
Oh, those poor souls over there.
When you get a chance to reincarnate, you have to avoid their planet. They have no bacon.
Yes, definitely. I don't know if I'm going to a vegan planet. I do know that. Pat is asking, if rebirth is to evolve our soul and we all believe in the same God, does that mean Earthlings have to rebirth as an alien?
Wait a minute, what was that? Do Earthlings?
When it comes, yes,
you will. You will have to learn the experience of other planets to advance. You have the choice of stopping your advancement You can be very happy with the level you obtain in heaven, and you can stay in that level. There are like 7 levels over there, 7 realms. It's your decision whether you want to attempt to advance beyond.
I'm still thrown off by the bacon question, man. I'm honest.
I'm thinking about that one myself. I'm getting hungry.
For sure. We are talking with Barry Strohm tonight on Spaced Out Radio. His latest book, Aliens Among Us, Exploring the Past and Present, comes out on March 22nd. I highly suggest you pick it up when it comes up. And Bruce Becker has a question that I can answer. He is asking, when will the Cubs win the World Series? And I'm going to tell you, they won't. They're just that bad. They're just that bad. You know. But then again, I'm a Yankee fan, so I know we'll win it. Exactly. Joe has a very interesting question. Does Moo know the location of the original Garden of Eden?
Oh, that's interesting.
You're assuming there. Let's go back one more step. Is there a garden? Is there an original Garden of Eden? No. Garden of Eden is a biblical. I can't think of the term I'm trying to use. My mind's still a little hazy here. It's a biblical metaphor, I think. I'm in many instances, places in the Bible did not exist. They were metaphorically put into it. I've actually done a fair amount of research onto the Lost Gospels and things like that. But there was no real Garden of Eden.
And there's no bacon on Moo's planet. That's terrible.
There could be bacon in the Garden of Eden.
Well, you know what? I'm still sad over the bacon comment. I don't know if I can get over that. You know?
I'll tell you, it's becoming apparent. Thank God we're in the fourth quarter of this thing.
I know. I'm very saddened by this. Very saddened by this when it comes down to it.
Yeah, Moo is very down on fast food. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, trust me. The little town that I live in, it is so small. There's not even a McDonald's, and everywhere should have a McDonald's.
Oh yeah. That's what keeps the vascular surgeons going.
Exactly. There's a reason why I've lost 20 pounds lately, because I can't shove a Big Mac down my gullet very, very often, and that hurts my feelings. I'm not going to lie about that. Does Moo know if we currently are hiding alien technology?
Are we hiding alien technology? Yes.
Is it at Area 51?
Yeah. Is it at more places in Area 51? Yes.
Are there other countries besides the United States that have alien technology?
Yes.
Are we allowed to ask Moo questions about the past?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Here's one that I have that I find very interesting. Did Hitler survive World War II?
No.
Were the Germans led by alien technology?
The 1938 crash in the Bavarian forest gave them an awful lot of information. Keep in mind, I've written a conspiracy book, and that's a chapter in it.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Let's see. What else can we ask from the past? Does Canada have alien technology?
Yes.
Now, when I ask this question, and I'm asking you, Barry, when I'm asking the questions about the technology that governments are hiding, is that it's already been turned into what we see today, whether it's cell phones or fiber optics or computers or things like that, or is it actually that they are hiding spacecraft?
It's all the above. They've given us tons of technology, just like the MRI machine, Salk vaccine. They've been guiding us for many, many years. I asked one night what was our first president to become involved with aliens in the United States, and he said the 10th president. So we've been messing with them for a long time.
Wow. You know, it's weird because as a show host, I usually have a million questions running through my head, and I'm trying so hard to ask questions, and you have so many bundled up in your brain, and you go to get to one of those questions, and it just doesn't come out. And I'm a little frustrated with myself right now because of that. Jim is saying, and he lives in Ohio near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Can Moo confirm that there are that there are alien aircraft and bodies at Wright-Patterson?
No.
Was there at one time?
Yes.
Do humans have alien DNA in their genome that comes from Joe?
Yes.
And another question from Joe. If the aliens built the pyramids here on Earth, are they the same ETs that built the pyramids on Mars?
No.
Does Moo know how many different extraterrestrial species have visited Earth?
No. They've been here since the dinosaurs.
Are there dinosaurs that were taken by ETs that are living on other planets?
No.
Bill from Paranormal Into the Night has a question. Moo, is it possible to travel at or beyond light speed?
Are you referring to their ships or for humans right now?
Well, let's take it for their ships for right now.
Okay, Moo. Yeah, I know for a fact their ships go at twice light speed.
How long would it take, maybe you know this, Barry, for a ship from Moo's planet to get here?
10 hours.
That's fast. That is fast.
Yeah, once you hit the speed of light, time reverses. So it all works together, but basically 10 hours he can get here, riding an energy wave.
Have beings from his planet ever traveled to Earth?
Oh, yeah. During his lifetime, he was here on 2 different missions.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And home before midnight.
Yeah, really. Really. You know, he can make it from his planet faster than I can get to Chicago.
Mhm. I know that feeling all too well. On his planet or anywhere outside of Earth, do they really work on time like we do?
Yes. And we've investigated that. When you're in the spirit world, there's no time. They could care less. But apparently when you decide to birth and become a creature, time is a factor everywhere. Just like he lives for 950 years, that's a measure of it's in his time, that is like 150 years. In our time, it's 950. So time is different. It varies in the different cultures.
Kimmy is asking, are there any other technologies being held at Fort Knox other than gold?
No.
Kathy is wondering, we call them extraterrestrials or aliens. What do they call themselves?
Good question.
Yeah, I like that one. Moo, what do you call yourselves? V6.
V6.
Said they call themselves V6. He's got a great sense of humor, by the way.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this then. What do they call us?
Yeah, what do you call humans? Q. U. Questions. He just said that's a good question, I think.
We only have time for a couple more questions here for you tonight, and I appreciate you guys taking the time. Nisa wants to know, what does Moo eat? Well, he's in spirit now, so he wouldn't eat anything, but when he was on his planet.
What did you eat when you were alive? P. V. I knew this was going to happen. A. F. O. That is the name for his food, which is not something we recognize. It was just, to us, a lot of the names that he gives me looks to us just like random letters.
Right.
But that
makes sense.
That was I asked him what he drank when he wanted to get drunk one time, and he said something like QUARZ or everything. We just don't recognize it. He will spell the things out in his planet, the best he can, genetically.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I have a personal question here from Moo.
Okay.
Has my son been taken?
Who's that? Who's asking the question? Okay. Has Dave's son ever been abducted? Yes.
How many times?
2.
I can confirm that. Will he continue to be an abductee or contactee?
No.
Which round of the 2031 NHL entry draft will he go in? I need to know this one.
Oh, wait a minute. Answer it. He said first.
Yes. Yes, I appreciate that. I actually channeled, you know what, I will say this, when I did a lot of channeling when I was learning my spirituality, I actually channeled my son before he was born, and he was still in the womb of my wife. And he actually told me he was going to be drafted into the NHL in the first round.
Huh. Neat.
Yeah. You know what? I hate to say this, but we're out of time.
Hey, time flies. And I know we've enjoyed it here. Always,
my friend. Barry Strohm and Connie, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And please give Moo a heartfelt thank you from myself and all of our listeners at Spaced Out Radio. We really appreciate you coming on the show tonight, and I look forward to doing it again with you. You know you always have room on this show.
Okay, now we appreciate doing it. As long as we can help people out and give them information, we're here.
Appreciate that so much. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Okay, thanks.
Good night.
Right, Dave.
Good night, Connie.
Do you have a topic or guest you'd like to hear on Spaced Out Radio? Email us, dave@spacedoutradio.com. Send us a quick message on Twitter @SpacedOutRadio, or a message on our Facebook page, Spaced Out Radio. Once again, here's Dave Scott.
And once again, I want to thank Barry and Connie Strohm for joining us tonight on Spaced Out Radio, channeling Moo live for us. Moo is a spirit from a planet called Robbe, R-O-B-B-E. We thank Moo for joining us tonight. Tomorrow night on the show, Tia Krulos will join us. We're going to be talking about real-life superheroes. I'm excited about this show as well, because I want to know if any of these people are actually wearing capes. If I had superpowers, I would wear a cape. I would be very, very excited about that. That's tomorrow night. Hey, on social media, you can follow us on Twitter @SpacedOutRadio. You can give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. Join us on Instagram, Dave Scott, SOR. Our YouTube channel is Spaced Out Radio Show, and our website is spacedoutradio.com. Remember, we'll be back in exactly 22 hours from now for the Friday night show before I wander off into the wilderness and give way in the cabin to Uncle Jimbo. I'll go find my Zen, my Chi. Hey, go to bed. It's late. What are you still doing up? Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll talk to you very soon. Good night.